It is August 28th, 2020. We're here on the rooftop of the property at 9234 Fullerton Avenue in San Diego, California, 92123. We are going to go ahead and inspect the sewer main here from the rooftop vent because there's no cleanouts on the property for the main sewer that we can see. So we have two bathrooms back to back. So this 3-inch vertical cast iron vent will lead directly into the beginning of the main sewer. A bunch of cockroach water bugs here inside the vent piping. A little bit of flaking of the cast iron pipe there. Here's a vent T-junction right there. That leads to the other vent for the other fixtures in the bathroom. Here's our two toilets coming from each side for the two back-to-back bathrooms where they enter into the system. So this is the beginning where the water's in the system. And then this vertical line right here is going to make the transition to the horizontal sewer main. So here we're in the original sewer main. It's all cast iron pipe. It's nice and open right here. We're basically looking for any large cracks or fissures, any roots, any misaligned pipes, or any sags in the line, or heavy scale or buildup of deposits. So with cast iron, you're always going to get some deposits on the bottom. As you can see, just a little mounding on the left and right hand side there, but nothing real severe right here. The house is currently occupied, so we know we're getting liquids and feces and paper down there, so unless we see a bunch of it stuck up on the walls of the pipe, when you have a little bit of scale and buildup on the bottom, we're not concerned unless things are not flowing down through the system. This cast iron looks in good condition still. Got a little bit of standing water right here. And then you see we come up and over that little mound. So I don't see a T-fitting. Sometimes when they put a junction in the line where it's picking something else up, or they had to clean out or something else, sometimes it'll have a little weird effect on the hub. But you can see we kind of make a little elevation change right there. So we're down in the line right here, and then we actually rise up right there. So there's just some mounding right here of little deposits and debris built up on the bottom of the pipe there. And also could just be the way the pipe was laid underground. The cast iron still has a hub where there is some movement when it's leaded in together, and that can get slightly misaligned, but just a little bit of liquid water standing there, so it's nothing severe. Cast iron still looks in overall very good condition. Okay, here we have the original property line cleanout. So you can see right there on the upper left-hand side of the screen, that's a T-junction, an opening into the system. And so basically, typically just a few feet in front of the sidewalk, the builder, when they're building the home, puts this T in for the test purposes. And this is where the horizontal pipe that we're in right now is going to make a vertical downturn. And it looks like in this case it's going to be about a 45-degree angle. And so vertically up, that clean out would be capped after they do their test on the system. It's usually not brought to surface on the older homes. So you can see right here we make this downward turn right here. We're going down at about a 45-degree angle or so. Still original cast iron pipe. And it's going to recorrect itself within a few feet here, and typically it's going to change into clay or concrete pipe, or if the city's done some work, it may have been relined or new PVC. We'll see if anything's done. So here's our corrected turn on the line. We have a little bit of cast iron, after this 90, or 45, I'm sorry, and then we transition into the 4-inch clay pipe right here. You can see, so this is the orange reddish pipe. So this is the 4-inch clay. There's going to be hubs approximately every 4 feet because the clay comes in very short sections. Mostly looking for just root intrusions in the clay. They're very susceptible because of how they're just pushed together with a lubricated rubber greased up joint. But the pipe stays smooth, just like plastic does, so it's actually a good material other than the fact that the joints are not the best sealed. But we've not found any root intrusions here. And then here we have our connection and our dump into the large city pipe right here. So right at about a little over 85 feet is where this line ends, and you can see it's transitioning into the very large pipe where the other houses in the neighborhood are dumping into the system. So there's a little bit of water flowing on the bottom of that. So there's no problems with the system here. So the main sewer line looks good other than the one little area that's holding some water. We are going to go ahead and put a smaller camera and try to get through the laundry/kitchen drain line that leads into the sewer here. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this camera inside the pipe, and we're going to go ahead and pause and bring another camera onto the rooftop and try to go through those vents to inspect those drain lines. Okay, so our first camera is still in the main sewer. That was a 1-inch self-leveling camera. We're going to use a very small 5/8 inch camera here to go through these smaller 1.5-inch vents here that we have for the kitchen and laundry. You can see they're side by side with each other. So I believe this one here to the left is going to be our laundry, and so there's less chance that there's going to be turns on the vent. It should be a straight vertical drop, whereas the kitchen, being a window over the kitchen sink, typically has bends on the vent piping. So they're going to eventually come into the same pipe possibly, so we'll go through this one first. So you can see right there, there's our T-junction where things are dumping into the system from the vent, where it becomes wet right there for part of the drain line now. So we do have the laundry drain, and then in the garage area they installed also a small urinal and a wash sink, all right next to each other, all 3 in a row. So go down this pipe here, see if we can make a clean turn and transition with this camera. So this is original 2-inch cast iron. So you can see it is open. We got a little bit of debris right there in the line. It's going to be, again, normal for a cast iron pipe for this age. So trying to make the turn right there. It's kind of messing with our camera lens. We've gone through the system right here, and we have pushed out, but we've got probably some fat and grease and other debris on the pipe right here, so it's not letting us go any further also where we've pushed to. So it might be the end of the run, or it might be some heavy buildup or another turn. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video while we pull our camera back out and try to clean that off. Okay, so we didn't pull our camera out, we just turned on the kitchen faucet to run a bunch of cold water down the piping. So right now the cold water is running. And so as we back up here and then kind of go forward a little bit more, it looks like it's probably just a turn on the line. We can't say for sure, but we can see that water's flowing. And we can hear it draining down the vents. You can see it's completely functional. On older cast iron pipes, sometimes the camera just can't make those turns, unfortunately. So we're going to back this up here with the water still, leave it running. We do have one other camera, it's the same size, but might be able to maneuver through the turn. So there you can see is our T-junction right there flowing in. That's where the laundry and kitchen become one pipe. The we're going to back this back up and out of the system here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and pause for 1 second and try one different camera. Okay, so we have another 5/8 inch camera, but a little bit different push rod that's a little less stiff. So we're going to see if this will maneuver all the way out of the system. Now again, we know the line is functional right now, and we just thought we'd try to get all the way through the system if at all possible. Every once in a while we do find issues with cast iron in the 2-inch underground. So we've got some debris in our camera lens again and trying to get out. That's going to be normal because the kitchen line is getting all this fat food and grease and other stuff in the line. It's not look like it's rinsing off our lens as good as the last time. There we go, starting to get a little bit more of a view where I think we're just sticking at the exact same spot in the cast iron pipe possibly. Let's pull this out really quick. Yeah, we just got a lot of gunk on the lens there again. I don't know if it's going to change every time we go down, but we'll give it one more shot here. Keep showing this recording. Yeah, we're just grabbing debris each time we go down. So I don't think we're going to get any better view or any additional view here. So you can see our pictures kind of coming and going. The water's trying to somewhat rinse the lens off, but it's really difficult because it'll grab new debris every time it passes through. So there's the water cascading by. So there's just a hard turn on the line on the cast iron piping. And again, so we'd never expect to always get all the way out on original 2-inch cast iron drain lines to the main, but we always give it an attempt at least. So you can see the water's flowing perfect right there. So it's draining down into the system. So we're going to go ahead and pause one more time, and we're going to move our main camera that we still have in the line back to where this water might be junctioned in. We may see the T-junction where this comes into the main sewer. Okay, so we're pulling back our main camera here that we left in the line. We're quite a ways back already. So you can see the water flowing from the kitchen. We're now all the way back, and there you go. There's the T-junction where the kitchen and laundry dump into the line. So you can see the water flowing in nice and clean and full blast in through there. So that's why we couldn't see the T-junctions. That's on the upper left of the screen right there. So the camera that we have won't make the turns through this old cast iron to get into there, but certainly a cable will for snaking if it ever has to. The cable, or the camera, I'm sorry, just can't rotate it, just pushing only. So it's a nice clean opening right there. Everything's flowing in full bore. So as we back up here on the line, you can see we're quite a few feet back. And right here is where the toilet's going. Whoop, we can see a little bit of string right there. Looks like somebody's either flushed some dental floss, or maybe that's the string from a feminine hygiene product. So obviously shouldn't be putting those kind of products down. But the main line's clear. And again, as we go forward again here real fast, the line's nice and open. And then at about 6 to 8 feet out here, we've got this junction in. So the system's in good working condition. Doesn't require anything at this time. So that concludes this recording.